Ready?
We're ready.
What episode are we up to now?
This is episode 6.
Oh, in total or?
Yeah, in total.
So this is a Path of Zen episode.
Yes.
So this is our Path of Zen episode 3.
I think it might be. Oh, yes, it must be because we've done 2 Japan.
Finally, we're going to do one that doesn't involve Japan.
Yes.
We have actually gone other places other than Japan.
Believe it or not.
So this one was New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Specifically, Queenstown.
Yes, we love Queenstown.
Yeah, I must say, it's been a while since we've been, but I must say our first trip to Queenstown, we definitely fell in love with it. I would say nearly even to the same extent as Japan. I remember us just walking around the town of Queenstown, looking at the mountains and the lake, and it was just mind-blowing. If you've ever been to Queenstown, you know what I'm talking about, but I don't think I can think of a more scenic town that I've been to, at least anyway. Like, I haven't been to Switzerland and Austria and a lot of these places that seem to have quite similar topography to Queenstown, but in all the towns that I've been to, Queenstown is definitely the most beautiful I've ever.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. It was not the first time I'd been there when Hugh and I went together. I think it was the second time, and absolutely.
I was a virgin. Liz was not. I popped my Queenstown cherry.
We popped your cherry. We went with our friend Buff. He used to live with us.
Shout out to Buff.
Shout out Buff. Hope you watch this.
Our Indigenous friend. We do have an Indigenous backing. We cannot be cancelled.
He's gonna love that. This is going back to 2023, so the same year of those 2 Japan trips that we've touched on in previous episodes. We went around August 2023.
Yeah,
September.
I think it might have even been July.
It could have been, actually,
because we kind of made the mistake of thinking that Queenstown was going to be like other northern hemisphere locations where, like, as soon as it's winter time, there's tons of snow and you can do all the skiing and everything. But it wasn't until later that we learned the seasons there are a little bit more unreliable, and you're best to go more towards end of August if you really want to secure there being decent snow. So I'm pretty sure we went in July this time round, and the snow definitely could have been better.
Yeah. Oh, keep in mind, I don't think we've mentioned, but this was a ski trip. So if you're not going for the snow, go any time of the year because Queenstown is beautiful.
We've been in summer and winter.
Yeah.
Just as beautiful both times.
So beautiful. I mean, I'm definitely biased and prefer the snow. I love being there when it's cold and snowy because I feel like you get that real Queenstown cozy feel.
Yeah.
Like we often talk about it. We say, I feel like I'm in Queenstown right now when it's if we smell like a fire or it's really chilly. I don't know, it brings me back to that feeling of walking through the main street.
With the amount of food we eat, it's always nicer when it's cold because when it's hot we just sweat and you just feel more like a little piggy. Whereas if it's nice and cold and you can rug up, you're just like, no, it's all sweet. I need the food to keep warm.
Yeah, that's why. Not to hide our big bellies or anything. But yeah, we had such a great time. So yeah, the main objective was to ski, but we also checked out beautiful Queenstown.
The main objective.
Is that the wrong word?
Like this holiday was a plan of attack. All right, our main objective. We must ski the mountains of Queenstown.
Well,
you're just getting a little bit of an insight into Liz's brain. She's very much task orientated.
He was actually not telling me off for this.
No, just making some general observations this morning.
We had a good chat about it this morning because this week I've been very task orientated and I need to kind of like chill a little bit. However, I've been very productive.
Yes.
But you can be productive and do it without like putting pressure on yourself, which I have to remind myself of daily.
Because checklists have their place, but we don't want to turn everything into a checklist.
No, because that's not very fun.
We don't want our holiday to be a checklist. Sure, we want to do things on that holiday, but this holiday we want to have fun and relax and enjoy those things that we do.
Yeah. But yeah, we were mainly there to ski and it was really fun because we'd skied in Japan earlier in the year in January. We had a bit of experience. We dipped our toes in the snow, so to speak, in the ski shoes, and we were there to ski. We had skied in January. and we had a little bit of confidence. I would say Hugh had more confidence than me because still at this stage I was very much a beginner skier. Hugh had already surpassed beginner, intermediate, and he was advanced by this point. You were very confident. But
maybe a little bit too confident, but
yeah,
that does help in skiing though. Confidence is everything.
Yeah, you want to be confident. You do not want to doubt yourself. But yeah, we tried out a few. So if you're not familiar with Queenstown, you've got a selection of quite a few ski fields, all within a driving distance or on the bus.
Yes. So if you are going to Queenstown, I definitely recommend hiring a car. Other places like Japan, I would say don't worry about it. Public transport is sweet, but Queenstown definitely a little bit more spread out, and having a car definitely helps a lot, especially if you want to do a few little day trips out to some of the really beautiful places around Queenstown.
Definitely.
And all you have to do is when you're going up the mountain, you'll get like halfway up and you've just got to put some chains on your tires, which might sound like a little bit daunting, but it's actually quite easy. And the mountain itself is actually super easy, and it's more so just like a precaution. We did we did go up once without them, despite the adjudicator's best attempts to get us to use them.
I think from memory you lied to them.
I may have bent the truth a little bit. So sometimes if it's just been a light snow day, if you have a 4-wheel drive, they will say chains are optional. We did not have a 4-wheel drive. However, they pulled us over and stopped and they said, "Is your car 4-wheel drive?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Sure.
And so we did make it up the mountain. There was a few parts a little bit sketchy, but yeah, it's quite easy. It's nothing crazy.
I don't know if it was this trip or one of our other trips to Queenstown to ski, but there was another time where we opted out of putting the chains on, and I think it's because we zoomed up there so early that we beat the team that stop you and ask you about the chains. And he was like, "It's fine, we've got to get up there, we've got to get a park, you got to beat the crowd. Let's do this." And I remember we were going up the hill and we should have had the chains on. Yeah. Do you remember? It was
it was fine, but there's one just before you get there, there's one last little slope that you got to get up. And I had my foot to the floor on the pedal.
It was snowing heavy
Had my foot to the floor and the car was just going like 5 kilometers an hour. I didn't say anything, so Liz didn't even know anything was happening. I didn't want to add any stress to the situation, but I was flooring it and I was sweating. I was like, we're about to start rolling backwards down this whole mountain.
And it made me think of that video on YouTube. You'll be able to find it if you search Queenstown bus. On YouTube, you'll find it. There is a footage of a bus scaling down the mountain.
Sliding backwards down the mountain.
Sliding down because probably a similar thing. They haven't put the chains on correctly or at all. I think the buses have to have chains on them though because they're such a heavy vehicle. But
we made it.
Yeah, we made it in one piece. But yeah, I remember afterwards he was like, "I know I didn't let on, but I was really stressed that we weren't going to get up the mountain." And when Hugh tells me he's stressed, I'm like, this is reason
But I don't like
stress.
to add any stress to the environment. So if I'm stressed, I just go deathly quiet. I just reside in my own head and I just do what I can do.
I wonder what was going on in your head though.
There was a fire.
But yeah, so anyway, going back to the options that you have in Queenstown. So the main one is the Remarkables, which is the most popular one, very family friendly.
Hard to say. The Remarkables and Coronet are quite similar in terms of popularity.
True.
I feel like Coronet is almost a bit more family friendly. It has like a really well done up ski center at the base of the mountain. So if you don't actually want to ski, if you're going with your family and their skis and you just want to chill out, they actually have a really well set up center for you just to chill out, have a coffee, have a meal, whatever kind of thing.
Yeah. And then there's also Cardrona, which we're yet to try because we haven't had good enough conditions.
Yeah, so
unfortunately.
this is one of the ones I'm talking about where you definitely would need a car for that. Cardrona is like actually a little bit closer to Wanaka than it is to Queenstown.
Would you say an hour drive from Queenstown?
I would say at least an hour
because you have to
get up the actual mountain.
Yeah, you have to go through the Crown Range, I believe it's called. If you get motion sickness, prepare yourself. Every single time we go over the Crown Range, I get sick, and it's like from car sickness because it's like this. It's beautiful, but it's this windy road, and you're wrapping yourself around the mountain. And Hugh, he's an assertive driver. I wouldn't say he is an unsafe driver, but you definitely don't drive with any lack of confidence.
Drive to survive, baby. Drive to survive.
And
the best defense is a good offense.
Yeah. So yeah, on this particular trip, we just skied at the Remarkables and Coronet. Was that correct?
Yes, correct.
And it was great. We were having such a great time. Our friend Buff was snowboarding and Hugh and I were skiing, but you can definitely get by if you've got people in your group when you're skiing. If one's snowboarding, one's skiing, I think it's more to do with confidence levels that's going to hold you back. I'm raising my hand for that point because at that point I was not very confident. But then you guys actually really helped me like boost my confidence because I remember we'd get to the end of a run and both you and Buff would be like, "Oh, Liz, you did so well." Like it was really sweet actually. You could probably tell I was like lacking confidence at that point still, and you were trying to like boost me up. So I think towards the end of the trip, I got better.
It is more difficult too. So something about the snow is if there isn't good snow coverage and it hasn't snowed recently, the snow that's there gets very icy, and icy snow is a lot more difficult to ski on, a lot
Scary.
easier to kind of skid out and fall over. And not only that, there was such poor snow coverage that there was even like rocks and tree branches and all kinds of stuff starting to come through. So just prepare yourself. I think if you go late August, chances of that happening are a lot lower. However, the chances of there being icy snow is quite high because it's not such a regular snow every day kind of place. It's like they'll have a big snowstorm and it'll snow for a few days, and then they might have a week without snow and then a few snow days. So
Yep.
if you've never skied anywhere before, you'll be fine and it'll just be what it is. But if you're completely used to snowing places where there's a lot of snow, it might take a little bit of adjusting too.
Yeah, I remember. So Coronet Peak, which is within the Queenstown town area, it's one of the main ones. It is on a particular side of the mountain that if it doesn't get good snow, it's very prone to getting icy and not getting good enough conditions. Like you do need to, I think it's to do with like the way the wind blows or the sun hits it on a certain direction.
It doesn't get as cold there as some other places.
Yeah.
So if it's above 0 degrees, which it often is up there, and it's sunny, the snow will melt and get icy and all the rest of it. So.
Yeah, which we did experience. I think there was one day we went, it wasn't quite as bad, but then as we stayed on the trip, I think the weather conditions were getting worse and the snow was kind of like melting. Because do you remember we went back a second time and it was quite scary.
Yeah.
And I actually remember having a bit of a like tantrum because I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this because I was just so scared. And I went and sat in the resort and Hugh and Buff went and skied. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore.
But the good thing about Queenstown and the good thing about the Remarkables and Coronet and all these ski resorts is that even if the snow quality is really poor, it is so beautiful.
So
like
beautiful.
you get to the top of these mountains, and even if the ski down isn't particularly the best ski, the view you get from up there of everything it's second to none.
We'll insert some photos. Do you remember that beautiful hike when you get to the very tip top of Coronet Peak? You can hike up that little staircase and you go to like, it's almost a lookout at the very top.
Yeah, so you get on a ski lift to the top of the mountain, and then you can take your skis off and put them in like a little designated area and then walk even a little bit higher up and you get an even better view. It's amazing.
I'm just remembering how you get down
Sliding back down.
I mean, you could take the stairs, but we're not like normal people. We like to choose the fun option. So we were sliding down on our bum because you can do that kind of thing in the snow. But yeah, so the skiing was great. Again, like I was definitely being tested a little bit, but really good for my confidence as a skier. I think you got really confident on this trip with the skiing. We do want to talk about some of the things we did in the town and some of the other activities.
Yeah, definitely.
Skiing.
So I'd say skiing we probably did for maybe half a day. So, and if you can do it this way, obviously if you're not an early riser, then this method is not for you. But if you want the most optimum skiing experience, then you got to get up super early, get right up to the slope so you can get like a good park and be there ready to go as it opens. I think it opens at like 8 or 8:30 or something.
But how early were we getting there?
We were getting there at like 5 a.m. to get the right park. And then we were just sitting in the car and like watching a movie. And
we'd watch Netflix or something.
watch Netflix and
drink
just,
our coffee.
Netflix and chill. But the reason being is the more runs people have on the snow, the more chopped up it gets, the less quality of the snow is. So if you're there the first half of the day, chances are that you'll get some good runs in and there'll be some good snow. By the time it gets to midday and everyone's been up and down the mountain 1,000 times and the sun's fully out, it's pretty mushy, it's pretty wet, it's pretty slippery, it's pretty icy. So, yeah, keep that in mind. If you're somebody who's like, oh, no, I'll just sleep in and I'll get up there around midday, maybe not. Maybe for this trip you become a morning person.
Yeah, you might change your ways a little bit. It's
So,
definitely worth getting up early. And
most days we would probably finish up around midday and then come back into the town.
yeah, which honestly, like we would go pretty hard. I remember like we want to take advantage of the time while we're there. As Hugh just said, it gets kind of worse as the day goes on. And we would literally like go up, do a run, come back down, immediately back on the ski lift. Like if you're a keen skier, you'd probably understand. You're just like, go, go, go. You get like this adrenaline and you do a really good run. You're like, oh my gosh, I want to do it again. It's quite addictive. And that's why we love skiing. It's so much fun. But yeah, do you want to talk about what we did other than skiing?
Well, you know us. We ate. And we ate.
Oh, yeah.
So this is going to bring us to the part of the story where we encounter one of our best friends and shall I even call it family members, Fergburger.
Mr. Ferg.
Mr. Ferg.
And Mrs. Ferg.
So Mr. Ferg has, not only does he have many a good burger, he also has pies, he has sausage rolls, he has an ice creamery, he has a bakery. Anyone who's been to Queenstown, there's no way you haven't been there and there's no way you haven't at least heard of it. There's one strip of town that has all of these places right next to each other, and I've eaten a lot of burgers in my time. And to this day, I got to say Fergburger is number one for me. There's a lot of people out there that are like, no, Fergburger's overhyped. It's not as good as everyone says it is.
We're not friends with those people.
Those people are haters. Those people are haters, and we do not appreciate that hate over here. Fergburger is amazing, and no one is ever going to tell me any different. They have a number of different ones. They have like the Ferg Classic. They have the Cockadoodle Oink. They have the Sweet Bambi.
That's our favorite.
I mean, little bit of a
The name.
The name is a little bit like, sorry if you're a vegetarian, it's kind of like rubbing in your face even more.
I don't think vegetarians would go to Fergburger.
No, they do have a veggie burger there though, but
they also have the Codfather, which is their fish one.
Yeah,
that's a favorite.
that's really good.
That's a real favorite.
But
I have to mention, sorry to jump in, the bakery has one of my all-time favorite desserts, which is the lemon meringue pie.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite things I've ever eaten in my whole life.
So we will be going again in September, so keep an eye out for that. We will be doing food challenges this time around.
Do we want to reveal the challenge we're
We
gonna
pretty
do?
much did food challenges when we were there the first time. We just didn't orchestrate it in a manner. We probably ate enough food to classify as a food challenge. However, this time I believe we're going to try and do the entire menu.
The entire
Fergburger
menu. We haven't worked out if we're going to do that all in one day or do it over the course of
I think we're going to do it in one go.
I mean,
then it says like,
I'm not going to fight you.
It's a challenge
I'll
that
do
way.
it.
Like we gotta prove ourselves. I'm yet to see any videos out there of it. So
are we just going to get one of every burger and we'll have like half of that burger each?
I mean,
how much are we wanting to spend?
Well, it's not a matter of money; it's a matter of stomach capacity. The allowance is there. We just gotta know if we can handle it. But yeah, we'll see how we go. But keep an eye out for that. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, what else did we get up to in Queenstown? Do you remember the hike we did?
Yes. Did we do the? Oh no, we just did the Queenstown Hill.
We actually did two. Do you remember?
We did Queenstown Hill, and we attempted to do the one in Wanaka. What's that one?
Roys Peak.
Roys Peak,
which we still haven't conquered. One day we will do the whole hike, but it's a day long hike.
So yes, we got Roys Peak, which is out at Wanaka. Keep in mind, we had just done 1 or 2 full days of skiing. So, another side note, if you've never been skiing before and if you don't do like a whole lot of, let's say, leg training or running or whatever, chances are your feet and your legs are going to be absolutely cooked after the first day of skiing because especially if you're not a confident skier, you will be tensing your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, your feet, everything an incredible amount. Pretty much the whole time you're on the slopes, they will be tensed as tense can be. So you might not feel it at the time, but when you wake up the next morning, you are going to know about it.
But
So
even so, we decided to do a hike.
no, so we had done 2 days of that, and then another thing that inspired us to do that instead is that our friend Buff, who'd come along with us, was doing a trick on his snowboard and had hurt his knee pretty bad. So he wanted to have a day off the slope. So we were like, all right, well, we'll go do a little a little hike.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a little bit. We bit off a little bit more than we could chew.
Yeah. Beautiful hike though. We'll insert
so
some
nice.
photos. Some of the best views I think I've ever seen in my whole life.
But yeah, I think we got about maybe 50-60% of the way up.
Yeah, I think we did 3 hours of an incline, and we were talking to people who were coming down, and they said you've got another 3 hours. Or
Yeah, it was.
I think they said you're halfway to the top.
Yeah.
But then you've got to scale all the way down. So we had hours ahead of us, and we just made the call. We were like, yeah, nah, I don't think we can.
The call of the Fergburger was too strong.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Queenstown Hill.
Queenstown Hill was
talk
really
about
nice.
that?
So that's a really easy-ish, very accessible. It's like right in the middle of town.
Yeah.
So like you don't have to go anywhere. It's straight from town. It's nothing crazy. Like it's pretty much paved the whole time. But again, a certain level of fitness required. But that's a really nice one too. You get to the top and you get a really nice view out over the whole of Queenstown. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Do you remember though, we were due to go to dinner straight after the hike, and I think we hadn't really been realistic about how long the hike was going to take us. So coming back down, we were like, okay, we have to be at dinner at 6, and it was like getting very close to 6. So we like powered down the mountain.
Straight into the middle of the town, straight to
And we hadn't really eaten. Again, we love to just put our bodies through like depletion when we hike. We like to just do it on protein shakes and coffee alone.
the raw experience.
And we got to the restaurant, and I remember you had to eat an appetizer before the mains came out. Do you remember this? Because you were like quite depleted, and I was feeling the same way. We were like, we need some food right now because we'd really.
I
I
distinctly remember because Buff's grandma was there.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, I'm going to take you guys out to dinner," and she was like, wanted to take us to like a nice restaurant.
Yep.
And I was like, just Buff, just like let your grandma know that like I'm going to be eating a lot of food. Do we really want it to be like a nice restaurant? Because this might cost a bit.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's fine, it's fine. I just remember the shock on her face. I think I ordered like 2 main meals or something. And then afterwards she was like commenting on how much I ate. And then I was like, yeah, we'll probably go grab a pie and a Fergburger on the way home as well.
We did too. And she thought it was so funny. And then also when she found out that we'd literally just come from a hike to come to dinner, she was like, are you okay? Like I think that was her exact words. Or she was like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's like fair. That's a fair question. But yeah, so we also ventured out. Didn't we go for a drive out to see some of the Lord of the Rings spots? Like the out Glenorchy way.
Yes.
There's some really beautiful spots. So you can see, is it Isengard?
So where they filmed the setting of Isengard.
Oh, and the Lonely Mountain. I hope I'm not butchering these
No,
names.
the Lonely Mountain was
I'm right.
correct as
Okay,
well, yeah.
so if you go out of Queenstown, I forget what direction you're going, but you're heading towards Glenorchy, which is a beautiful town on the water. Highly recommend going there. If you go out that way, you'll start to spot a few. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, which I hope you are, if you're watching this, you'll spot a few little locations and suddenly you're like, oh, that looks familiar. And it's because a lot of the spots around Queenstown they used for the filming for Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Yeah,
more points for hiring a car because it's just so nice just to drive around. Like you can just drive between towns and just the drive there, just every corner, every bend you go around is a new, like it looks like a painting. You're like, wow, this is a painting, this is a painting, this is a painting. Like
it's so beautiful.
Scenic is an understatement.
Yeah, definitely. Is there any other moments you can remember from this trip? Any funny stories coming to mind or?
It's just such a magical place. And just me personally, whenever it's like a winter escape like that, I just feel so, it's just got such a cozy vibe, Queenstown. Like, as you said, you go into town, there's always like, fires burning, like they have those fire lamps out, and it's just such a good vibe there. Everyone's just come down from the slopes or they've been on a hike and everyone's in good spirits, and it is a very popular tourist destination, but it almost doesn't really feel that way. Like it never really felt too crowded. It never really felt too busy. It never really felt like people were being like, a lot of times when you go to a touristy place, people can be quite rowdy and disrespectful and partying and all the rest of it, but it just didn't really feel that way.
No, it's definitely got like a atmosphere about it though. Like it feels everyone is very excited. I feel because it's sort of, they say it's like the adventure capital of the world because any activity you could imagine doing, you
so
can
we
do
only
in
scratch the
Queenstown.
surface. You can go like heli-skiing, you can go with speedboats,
The shot over jet.
bungee jumping. There's so many cool things you can do there.
I think when we go in September, we might try a couple of those things that we haven't tried yet. You've also got, we haven't tried this either, but we might, the beautiful onsen pool.
Yeah.
You've probably seen photos on Instagram. It's very, very popular because it overlooks this beautiful canyon. So yeah, we might splash out and do something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, would highly recommend Queenstown, New Zealand in general. We also mentioned Wanaka. So we didn't stay in Wanaka on this trip, but we did do a little day trip out there.
Wanaka's
absolutely beautiful. There's also some ski resorts. If you were staying in Wanaka, you'd probably be closer to them. We haven't tried these ones yet, but you've got Treble Cone. What is the other one? There's another one out that way. Well, you've got Cardrona, which we mentioned.
And Treble Cone. I think those are the two out that
maybe
way.
it's just those two. So yeah, you've got that option as well. But yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Oh, shout out to Cookie Time Ice Cream.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we have to talk about this.
There is a popular cookie over there called Cookie Time, and they've done a collab with, I think it was Tip Top Ice Cream,
which is a New Zealand specialty.
So
that
Tip
you
Top
cannot miss.
Tip Top Ice Cream in itself is like really good over there, like some of the best ice cream I've had. But Tip Top did like a crossover with Cookie Time biscuits, and oh man,
it was unreal.
Yeah.
I think we tried a few of the flavors, but nothing came close to this. And then on a future trip, a trip after this one, we came back and we were like, all right, well, let's go find that ice cream.
Desperately. We were every different, because they have a few. What do they have? They have New World, which is like Woolworths.
Yep.
They have
on a Countdown, which is like their Woolworths.
Okay, New World is
it's just its own thing.
New thing.
Kind of like Coles.
Countdown is like Woolworths, and then they have Pack and Save, which is kind of like
Costco. Yeah.
Now that Costco's here.
Yep.
But we went to all of these in various locations.
It took us a whole week to find it.
None of them had it. It wasn't until we went out to Wanaka.
Yes.
It was some random little corner store. It wasn't even one of the big chains.
And it was sitting at the very...
And they just had a little freezer section out the back, and I just had a little dig around of it, and there was one left at like the bottom of it, and we were just like, we were meant to eat.
I think I screamed when we found it. You found it, and you were like, Liz.
Because we'd given up. And I was literally just like, why don't we just check that store just because we're here? Like, may as well kind of
It was like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, if
an
you
extremely delicious needle.
Yeah. So yeah, that and some other favorites like the chocolate fish. That's a New Zealand specialty.
Yeah, New Zealand has a few little treats that we don't have here that are really nice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yum. And like we said, because it's cold, or if you go when it's colder, it's just like that comfort food. It's really nice to eat, like all this yummy warm food and the big burgers. And
for all you gym goer fitness enthusiasts out there, they do have a Snap Fitness in Queenstown, which is, I mean, pretty basic, but they have pretty much everything you need. We had some good workouts there.
Well, I actually just saw, because I follow their Instagram, they're doing like major renovations and expanding. So next time we're there, it'll be a bit more,
even more done up,
updated. Yeah, I think that's kind of the whole trip. Anything else that you wanted to talk about from this trip? Any funny stories or?
No, just that was just a really wholesome trip. I think it's a good thing to be like, a good noter to be like, sometimes it's really nice to take your friends on trips with you. So trips aren't just something you do with your partner. Like I remember it added like a really cool dynamic to take one of our friends with us as well.
Yeah.
And just have a few laughs. I feel like sometimes if it's just you and your partner, you might have a tendency to get a little bit on each other's nerves sometimes, maybe argue a little bit more. But if you have another friend there as well, it just like really adds a different dynamic to the trip. And Yeah, so don't be afraid to invite some friends along on your trip too.
Especially if they can cook.
Yeah, Buff cooked us a really
Buff
nice
was
meal.
cooking
That
us
was
dinner every
nice.
night. It was so good because we stayed in an Airbnb, which lots of accommodation options. We normally pick Airbnb when we go to Queenstown. It's slightly more affordable. I say slightly because it's still pretty
Yeah,
expensive.
Queenstown's quite expensive. Look, you're paying for what you get. It's a really nice place.
It is.
New Zealand's very far away from everything, so it costs them a lot to get stuff imported out there. So
Yeah. It feels like you're supporting the economy.
yeah,
We definitely do.
but yeah, highly recommend Queenstown.
Yeah.
If you haven't been, I don't know what you're doing because you live on the Gold Coast. It's like a 3-hour flight. Like how can you not?
It's, absolute must see. But yeah, thanks for joining us on another Path of Zen episode. We will be back. What is the next trip? Is it probably Japan?
Shall consult the calendar.
We'll see you on the next episode. It might be another Path of Zen. It might be an introspective episode. Also, let us know what you thought about the last episode where we spoke about goal setting and keeping in check with your goals. Really interested to know what people thought of that episode. It was a bit different, but we both really enjoyed the conversation. Yes. So, yeah, thank you guys. Are we going to do a Japanese goodbye today? Or should we do a Kiwi?
What's the Kiwi one? I know what the... Kia ora or something?
I think that's hello.
Hello?
Or welcome.
You know how they say goodbye?
Nah. Should we just do it in a Kiwi accent? I'm going to butcher this. But
boy.
Boy.
Boy, boy.
Boy, boy.